Good morning, channel friends. Today I'm bringing you a new tutorial with Magic Wall and with one of the most unlikely colors for walls. Because, tell me honestly, 10 years ago would you ever have thought of painting your home's walls brown? And yet, Corteccia, together with Caramello Salato, is one of the most beautiful trends this year. In fact, it's really popular. You like it on very modern, very sleek furniture, and you also like it on the walls. I want to show you how good it will look in this house, which has, let's say, decidedly old-fashioned features. The ceiling, not by chance, has stuccos and a touch of blue that goes beautifully with the brown, and it will also pair really well with the door finishes, which are classic, walnut-colored, so we're going ahead with this trend. The floor is also wooden, so we're going to play with tone-on-tone colors that will look fantastic, but will give a truly modern touch to this house, which would otherwise be far too classic. So we're freshening things up with brown. Who would have thought? Let's get started. Lately, you've seen me using a laser level very often in the tutorials I do on walls. It's actually something I discovered recently because I insisted on measuring by eye. But I was wrong, because with a tool like this I solve loads of problems and, above all, I avoid making mistakes in the end. Why's that? Because these old houses often have crooked walls that can catch you out a bit. Instead, the fact that the laser level always gives you a perfectly straight line, even when there are uneven spots on the floor, is a real guarantee. I also use it for hanging pictures when they need 2 nails in the wall, and when I have to put up, like today, an old wooden strip to create a fake paneling effect. It helps me a lot. I simply follow the laser level and I don't make any mistakes. Why did I decide to put up this strip? Because I don't want to paint from here downwards for 2 main reasons. Firstly, I don't feel like removing all the radiators and paint them separately. I don't even want to paint them here because they're old radiators with little feet. And, well, I already know that if I paint them like this, I won't do an exceptional job behind. But above all, today I can't be bothered to use the spray gun because I don't feel like painting the other walls as well. I'd just like to do these backgrounds, so I've decided to leave the part behind in clear sand, just as it was before. And I'll leave this radiator as it is. It was only painted 2 years ago, matching the color of the ceiling moldings. It will go well with our Corteccia and will look even better with this project, where we've used some panels, well, actually old wooden slats. They were 2 meters long, though the ends were a bit damaged, so we trimmed them and they turned out perfectly at 106, which is the width I need here and there. I'm going to apply them with 2 small nails because I don't want to use glue on this wall. I don't want to risk pulling off a bit of plaster one day when I remove the strip, so I'd rather avoid that. So I'll use 2 small nails, since they don't need to support anything. They're just for decoration and to mark the boundary, and above all, they're ornamental. So, with 2 headless nails, I'm going to attach the strip to the wall. As you can see behind me, I've already started applying the brown coats. Actually, for filming purposes, Franco helped me. We took down the wall light, quickly applied 2 coats, so a quick first coat, dried it with a hairdryer, then a quick second coat so we could put the wall light back up straight away. Actually, today we didn't want to go as far as disconnecting all the cables and everything else, so we simply turned off the power in the house and did this job quickly. Now, though, I'll show you how clever and smart this brush is, which is called Architetto. In fact, it comes in 2 sizes. There's the larger Architetto and the smaller Architetto Small. Don't be fooled by the red handle. These are 2 of my prototypes, but the ones on the market are exceptional. They have the same bristles with the same angle. Why do I say that these brushes are incredibly clever? Because, thanks to the unique angle of their bristles and the way they're cut, they allow you to get right up to the edge of the wall and create a perfectly straight corner without smudging. As they're not thick, they're tapered at the tip and cut at an angle. Moreover, they let you reach spots where, with a normal, oval or slightly stubby brush, you might struggle. So I load it up really well like this, flattening it, remove the excess from the sides, and then I go in with my brush. Obviously, this house, being very old, doesn't have perfectly straight walls and the corners aren't perfectly straight either, but that's part of its charm. So I'm not worried about the fact that the corners aren't exactly, let's say, at 45 degrees. Now, it's clear that on a clear sand wall you'll need to apply at least a second coat of paint of Corteccia, because obviously we're going from a very light color to a very dark one, a bit like when we go from a very dark color to a very light one. 2 coats are always necessary. Remember to use undiluted paint, not diluted. This is fundamental. Here I'm applying Corteccia over the clear sand wall, and it's much easier because, of course, it adheres perfectly and the brush glides beautifully. So I save and use very little paint because the wall doesn't absorb this type of paint. I continue. First coat everywhere. I'm painting this little border Corteccia, and here I have the clear sand. Watch what happens now. I paint it. Yes, I'm not buying the paint just for this little strip, guys. I use the wall, I color it, and obviously, since I didn't put masking tape on, well, I ended up making a bit of a mess, right? So what do I do now? I use a damp microfibre cloth, gently wiping the area to clean it off. Remember that using excellent, high-quality products really does make a noticeable difference. I should have put on masking tape and all the rest, but look, obviously, I'll give this a second coat of clear sand here, because as you can see, over the years, it's been 3 solid years since it was done. It's picked up a few dents thanks to the kids. But look, I've removed every mark, and if I can remove the wall, don't you think I could also get rid of a splash of sauce or some wine that's accidentally been spilled? The wall is breathable, but also water repellent, which means you can remove all stains with a sponge cloth. There's only water here, you know. I'll carry on. Remember, it's up to you to decide what to use on your wall. Do you want to use a brush? I recommend Molino. Do this kind of brush stroke, very rough, uneven. Obviously, the first coat tones and provides adhesion. The second covers absolutely all the imperfections, I assure you. Of course, you need to apply the second coat when the first is completely dry, otherwise the second will lift the first off. Not handy with a brush. Don't like using a brush. The roller. On smooth walls, use a short pile microfibre roller. If your walls are a bit rougher or uneven, use a medium or long pile roller. Look. Of course, you also need to know when it's best to stop. What does that mean? It means that if the roller has nothing left to give, if it's run out of paint, I need to stop. I shouldn't keep pressing because if I press, I'm removing paint, not applying it. Obviously, if I use both a brush and a roller on the wall, I'll see the difference, but that's normal. This happens with all rollers and all brushes. If you smudge, always remember to take a damp sponge and clean it up. Do you want to use the roller first to save time and then go over it with the brush to create this rough brushstroke effect? You can do that. Look here. Now I'm going to finish this spot. And there you go. I rinsed the area where I went over the line on the white wall and let everything dry. Why should you use both a roller and a brush? Because perhaps with a longer roller you can reach places that the brush can't. Or maybe because the roller spreads the paint everywhere, and then with the brush you can create this very distinctive rough brushstroke effect. It's up to you. You can even use them together. Voila! We've applied 2 coats, hung up the picture, put the wall light back in place, and did everything quickly because I wanted to show you the big difference between the finished part and the part still to be done. It took us about an hour and a half, no more. Even considering the filming, everything was recorded, so it really didn't take me long at all. Remember that with wall, when you need to do jobs like this, You can even dry it with a hairdryer, nothing will happen. I really like it, and it's given a huge touch of modernity. It also makes the room feel warmer and cozier. Before, the white was very distracting. And why did I use the spirit level as well? Because I need to hang 2 pictures at the same height. So what did I do? I decided on the height, put it up. You can see I've got the line, and when it's time to put the frame on the other side as well, I'll just need to follow the line from the spirit level, right? So it'll be much easier for me not to make a mistake. The center of the wall light, the height is here, and I'll hang the pictures at the same height without trouble. If you don't have a laser level yet, get one. It really makes life easier. Come on, Franco, let's carry on. This restyling is finished too. I can hear a bit of an echo, can't you, Franco? The furniture is the same as before. Anyway, in the end we've done this backdrop, already put up the pictures, finished everything off, and I really love it because it's made the room much more cohesive, less scattered, and warmer. And I have to be honest with you, the touch of Corteccia has really made a difference, because it's true that it matches the old doors, but it's also true that it goes really well with the painting, which has this very strong hint of red. In fact, if I'd used a cool color, it wouldn't have looked as good. So, thinking about modernizing by using cool tones isn't always the best option. Let's also use bold and vibrant tones, obviously balancing them, but always remember that you need to take the floor, the room, and the lighting into account. Yes, but when you're working with small areas, as I did, it's not so crucial to think about the lighting in a bright tone, let's say, and to match it with the furniture you have. If I have a painting with very warm finishes, even if it's modern, I need to take that into account. On the other hand, I kept everything as it was. I just moved a painting with a gold frame and also kept an old piece of furniture there, which you've surely seen in the tutorial. But if you haven't seen it, go and watch it because it's really cool and definitely worth it. There are lots of colors here because I love a colorful home, and there are many pieces made by me. Now Franco will show them to you, all together. He'll show you this little chest of drawers, which was made over a year ago. This sideboard made with Olivia, that one was done maybe 6 months ago. There's a lovely piece of furniture restored by my friend Barbara. There's a beautiful console table that I made a really long time ago. I can't remember if it was in a tutorial or a live stream, and the pink cabinet. So here we have lots of colors, blue, green, pink, shades of brown. And yet, they all look good together. Why is that? Because Magic Paint colors are desaturated, which means the shades have been designed and desaturated so that they all go well together. And why is that? To guarantee that almost any combination you choose will look great together. So go for it. Don't be afraid to use bold, striking colors with character. When it comes to walls, you need to think about them beforehand. And here, brown was the perfect choice. I really love it. Georgia suggested I use vintage, but in my opinion, Corteccia is even more spot on. Now I'll invite her to dinner so I can ask her. Remember, to buy Magic Paint and Magic Wall colors, you need to go to elisahome.com to purchase them online, the only website that sells them online, or you can find retailers listed on magicpaint.it. Soon there will be some news because the 2 sites will merge and become a single one, but you'll still find them in exactly the same way. And remember, you'll never find Magic Paint together with Magic Wall on Amazon. Never. Goodbye.